Hi writers, welcome to my home today. I get to do some writing workshop with you. And today we're going to be looking at those dual perspective narratives that you guys have already worked so hard on. And last week you guys got to do some fun things where you were immersed in some different photographs or different situations. And you were able to brainstorm how that character would think, feel, see, all of those different sensory things that we try and pull into our writing. So today I have a different kind of task for you. We're still going to be brainstorming ideas from another's perspective, but you're going to first choose a topic, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do this for you. You're going to choose a topic. You're going to complete the brainstorming graphic organizer and give yourself only about 5 minutes because I don't want you to spend the whole time doing the graphic organizer. Step 3 will be thinking about the perspectives and brainstorming which one you really want to write from. And then finally, you're writing along from that one perspective. So let me show you what that would look like. Okay, so you're going to have this great little chart right here, writing from different perspectives. And when you look in your canvas, that is going to be down here in your independent work time, your step 1 to choose a topic. So right here, click on this, your topic chart. You're going to select that, and this little thing will pop up. And we have a few different scenarios or perspectives that you can choose. So our situations or events right now are Moana. And I tried to link these, so hopefully these links work. So it's either you can write from Moana's perspective or Maui's perspective. And then we have the story of the 3 little pigs. So I've linked that story, a little read aloud for you. You can choose one of the pigs to write from, or you could choose to write from the wolf's perspective. Similarly, Hansel and Gretel, that's the one that I'm choosing today because this is a story that my son and I just read recently, and I already started thinking, well, what is the witch thinking right here in this part? So that's the one that I'm choosing today. But you could write from Hansel's perspective or the witch's perspective. Then we have Frozen. We have Elsa versus one of the guards whenever they're coming up to her castle on the north side of the mountain. And then we have the Lion King from either Simba's perspective or Scar's. And then Cinderella, or one of the stepsisters. Of course, this is just kind of a suggestion, but the goal is for you to be writing from another's perspective. So let me show you my work. All right, so I told you guys I wanted to think about Hansel and Gretel. So here we go. I love James Marshall picture books because their characters are always so expressive and they're not as spooky as some of the other ones. So if you look at this photograph in Hansel and Gretel, this is the moment when the witch had just asked Gretel to check the temperature of the oven. And she's like, I'm not sure that I know how to do that. So she's like, oh, I'll show you how to do that. So then the witch leans in and Gretel pushes her into the oven. Yay! Success! So then I was like, okay, I know that this is what I want to do. I want to write this right here. So my next step was to grab our graphic organizer. So looking at your lesson today, that's going to be right here. So step 1, choose a topic using this page. Step 2, you're going to brainstorm on the dual perspective chart that you guys just used last week. Don't forget to set a 5-minute timer. And I did just that. Let me share with you what my brainstorming looked like for Hansel and Gretel. I won't make you sit here for a full 5 minutes while I do that, though. All right, so Hansel. And the event was Gretel shoving the witch in the oven. Hansel. He sees sister shove witch in the oven. The witch's body is literally hanging out of the oven at this point, if you look at that photograph up here. Oh. All right, and then what does Hansel feel? Well, he probably feels excitement. He probably feels some anticipation because he's ready to break out of there. And then finally, probably a little nervous, like, are we able to get out of here? Is she going to come back at us somehow? Where will we go after we get out of here? Who knows? All right, and then thinking, yes, we're going to get out of here. Yes, get her, Gretel. Some of that sibling support there. Then finally, he probably would say, way to go, Gretel. Let's get out of here. All right, so that's Hansel's perspective of this situation as he looks on. And then we have the witch. What does she see? Well, she sees fire, maybe the ashes from her past meals and dinners. She sees the inside of the oven. What does she feel? Well, she probably feels a little blindsided, surprised, foolish, angry, irate, some of those things. And then I have, what is she thinking? No, not the oven. The children go in the oven. That's what I was thinking she probably would think right now. And finally, what would the witch say? You pesky, ungrateful children. That's just what I was thinking. All right, so I just set a 5-minute timer, and I just kind of wrote anything that came to mind. That's all that you need to do for that. So make sure you set your timer. And then finally, that third step for you is going to be to choose which perspective you want to write from. And I have a chart right here that's going to be pretty helpful, because sometimes whenever I get an idea and I want to write, I still get stuck. I'm like, but now I don't know whose perspective, or not whose perspective, sorry, the dog's interrupting. I don't know how to get this started. So I have a really handy little chart that could help you out today. So ways to start a first-person story. First, make your reader care. So there are some different ways and things that you can do to get that started. Second, start with revealing actions. Try actions that create suspense, running away or hiding. Number 3, a way that you could do it is to not spill everything at once. Leave some of the most interesting tidbits about your character for later. A little mystery keeps readers seeking answers. This makes me think of Mascot, how he gradually is telling us more and more about the car wreck, okay? Give your narrator the I voice. Like, we're writing from that character's point of view and that perspective. Make sure you're saying I for that character. So finally, I chose this one. Use an active voice, which is saying like, the letter was sent by me, read strangely. So make your character have an active acting subject. Okay, make that character active in your story. 6, confide in the reader. 7, avoid filter words. Instead of I saw the building was collapsing, say the building was collapsing, like putting your character right there in the story. Avoid filter words. And then finally, introduce other characters. All right, so let me show you what this looks like once I dove into my story. So today, October 5th, 2020, I can generate ideas and write from another's perspective. All right, and Maggie's gonna help us out. Okay, wait, what? What's happening? I can hear myself screaming inside my head. Why am I going into the oven? So if you look at those strategies for starting a good story, my narrator has the I voice. I'm active. I'm saying I'm in the oven. Okay? Only a moment before, I was showing that goose of a girl how to check the oven to ensure it was hot enough to cook her scrawny brother. That boy never ate the food I gave him. I wonder if this was their plan all along. So again, I'm using that active. Sorry, my husband's having to feed the dogs. I'm using that active voice, and I'm giving my narrator that I voice. I'm avoiding filter words. I'm saying I am right there right now. Okay? I feel a small hand on my behind, then a strong, determined, massive shove. Using some power of 3. Instinctively, I reach out my hands to catch myself from falling forward. With my hands flat, I catch myself on the interior of the oven. Ouch! My hands feel as though they're on fire. I can smell my hair being singed by the hot flames. Ugh, these wretched children, how ungrateful they are, I think to myself. I have given them a place to live after they helped themselves to eating my home. I have shown the girl how to be responsible. Most of all, I kept that boy safe from danger and kept him fed. My face grows hotter, though I cannot tell if it was from the oven or my anger of being blindsided by a couple children. I hope my witch's spell club doesn't find out about this. How embarrassing to have been tricked by my dinner. Ashes from my past dinners begin to blow around my head. Okay, so I just kind of had a little fun with this. I'm going to be honest with you. I had a lot of fun. So I chose Hansel and Gretel. That was my step one, choosing a story. And then I used my brainstorming chart using 5 minutes, set that timer. And then I had to figure out how in the world am I going to start this narrative. So I chose a strategy. I wanted to use the active voice. Okay? And then finally, write it. Write long, have fun with it, set that 20-minute timer. All right, so in Canvas today, your steps are all here for you. Remember, this is your chart to choose. It's gonna look like this. You may click on one of these links. It should take you to a little preview of that story or of that little movie, a little snippet to remind you of what's kind of going on. And then in your yellow block, you also have that graphic organizer to complete. You're going to have this chart to help you with getting started with writing. And then finally, you're going to submit your dual perspective chart, your long write, and then when you're done, write for enjoyment and work on your backup writing. All right, and that's it from us today. So happy writing, guys.